What is going on, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and it's Sunday. That means this is at week's end. It's time to go through and take a look at what happened this week, talk some Peacemaker, Alien, Marvel Zombies, look at the new history of the DC Universe. We're going to be doing all of that with a special guest right after this.
That's so nice that you call me special.
Yeah. We were just having a conversation about special.
Exactly. How you doing?
I'm doing good. The little the little buttons you push on the side to do the stuff and things. It's not scrolling right now.
Yeah, I'm like I was waiting for Judge Dredd to show up.
That's why. And I had to minimize the music sounds background tabs just to get the stuff above it to drop down a little bit, just enough to click the intro.
I thought maybe you just skipped it because the natives were getting restless.
Oh, darn natives. All right, let's see. I did that, and now I'm back at the top of it. Still not scrolling. Super weird. That's new. Comments are scrolling just fine. There's no scroll bar when I hit the media assets. New stuff. Oh, well. But I hope everyone's having a good week. It's time to wrap it up because tomorrow we start a new back to work for most everybody. But there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to. We've got a new episode of Peacemaker coming this week. So we're going to be talking about the one from last week, as you can see from our background. But we're not going to be doing it by ourselves. We got a special guest. I was talking to him, I think it was last night, maybe the night before. And I'm like, bro, you have a standing invitation to the show anytime you want. And he's like, yeah, but typically, no, he's not. He doesn't read the new books right when they come out. He gets them via mail-in from ABX Comics and Games. Free orders or free shipping on orders over $100. Link in the description. But I'm like, dude, come on, talk Peacemaker, talk the new shows, the news, shoot the breeze, and you can bounce before we spoil any books. And he's here for it. We got Steve with the sleeves.
Hey guys, hello.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Steve with a good mic.
It must be fall.
It was hot today. No, actually, I need to do some laundry. Otherwise, I would be sleeveless right now. I would be sleeveless. So, how's everyone doing? I love the shirt.
I'm doing good, man. I'm legitimately annoyed. By the.
Can we talk about how annoying StreamYard is?
The media assets.
$45 a month now.
And dude, every time I log on to StreamYard, there's a pop-up that says a new feature that's been added, and I firmly blame the new feature for not. Like there's not a scroll bar on the media asset thing. I can't scroll down them to get to anything.
Did you see the Vigilante book is on the top 10 this week?
The New Teen Titans Annual 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what's cool about that is I gave one of those away. Was it the month before last? Yeah.
You
won it?
I own a copy, baby.
Yeah. I put out a members only video today, opening like a stack of mail. I don't know if you saw it, but it's just nothing but key comics, all meant for this month's Legion loot and next month's Legion loot.
I brought it to Guess That Key when new Peacemaker season started.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, but I did a whole unboxing. I think I'm going to shift around the release of it so it comes out tomorrow, since we're doing the giveaway next Sunday. Hey, Mom.
Hey, baby.
What are you doing?
I'm going to go home. I love you.
Hello. Hi, Mom.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Y'all have a good week.
All right, you too.
We're trying to end it right now. You have everything? Did you come in carrying stuff?
Yeah, it was.
From all the bounce and the string. Okay, yeah.
I got the t-shirt and the jacket.
Okay, that's cool. It's been a busy day.
Yeah, no, I won this. I'm sharing screen. This is the Legion loot box that I won from you. So.
Oh yeah, the
Vigilante #1, New Teen Titans.
Yeah, some pretty sick books in there, bruh.
It was a Peacemaker extravaganza.
Yep, and we're kind of staying on that kick. The one that was after that had the first Harcourt, the AMB cover. That's the one that had was it Blue Beetle #1? Mm-hmm. The Blue Beetle #1 in there that had the first question.
I think you're
all
right.
Kinds of stuff. Trying to stay with that vibe, but I opened a bunch of books, including some Charlton stuff, some slabs, some signed slab. bunch of keys, all of it associated with the Peacemaker show and the Suicide Squad, which without the Suicide Squad, we don't get a Peacemaker show, which is my favorite thing right now. So I'm leaning into it.
That's a good movie. It's really fun.
Both of
Yeah.
them were good.
I tell you what, if this media asset thing had a scroll bar, we'd be talking about some Peacemaker movie, because I'd recorded a video for it too, but I can click on this one.
Mhm.
McFarlane's doing the drawing board set with like this amazing Harley Quinn with 4 different tiers to choose from the first Suicide Squad movie. That went up for pre-sale, be live for 30 days on the McFarlane website. It's like his version of Kickstarter, where they run a campaign and you can get in where you fit in. You can spend $30 and just get a figure standard rate, or get all the bells and whistles and everything with it. So I was excited to back that. I love that first Suicide Squad movie, and that's the first time we've got the Harley Quinn in the proper attire. We've gotten the one of her from Birds of Prey, where she's in like on the roller skates and everything. We got one from the end of James Gunn's Suicide Squad, where she's wearing the red dress. So we've had no like movie Harleys in like a Harley outfit. So that was,
You get 2 Harley figures if you go to the top tier, right?
yeah. You get Harley, the standard one, you get Joker, and then you get the same Harley but painted in the red and black. They're calling it the classic design. So it's kind of dope. Kind of dope. But yeah, I made sure to back that real quick. So let me say hey to some of the people that are in here real fast. Las Crucias, good to see you, man. It's good to see you back. See you in the normal swing of things. Pop, hello, good sir. Ben's chasing my mom around. Yeah, Ben wants to say hey.
Hey,
Hey,
Finn.
Ben. Hey,
How's it
bud.
going?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
Dude, let Finn,
Bye-bye.
let her go. She's got to get home, man. At least he had the blanket on.
Because he's got nothing underneath the blanket, right?
just the underoos.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Ruse.
Ruse. Yeah, it's an uphill battle. Uphill battle. Stephen, good to see you. What is going on? Good to see you in here, homie. Hello. Phil Ailing, hello. The adventurous one, Joseph Michaels, good to see you. Stopping in to say, hey, but I've got to watch the Packers kick the Cowboys' butt. Good luck. One trip to the courthouse, and it can be. Oh, we got some sports talk in there.
Well, no, I was saying, I hope that the C in Stephen C stands for comics. And that's why he's saying one trip to the courthouse, and it can be.
If it ain't fires because Mark ain't trying to how much effort and thought he puts in. Yeah. I talked to Pops about him all along the way. I'll hit him up sometimes. Hey, when you're looking on websites and stuff, watch for this book, watch for that book. And a lot of it is very, very, very far in advance.
Mhm.
Like when I see stuff coming down the road, I'm like, man, if I get that and sit on it for a year, that'll end up being a really expensive item that people will really want.
But it's also, I mean, because I do them in advance too. It's so much satisfying when you're able to give them all away. It's like, why, you finally got to, like the end of this, and it's like now you're gonna be able to give it away to people. So
Yeah, and to that point, if anyone out there, especially because we have people that have their own channels that watch and stuff, like what Paul like is a great example of when those like foil reprints came out for Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's a 12-issue maxi series, and all of those issues are thicker than 28-page comic
Oh
books.
my God.
And,
Yeah. It takes like 30 minutes to read each book. Or
yeah,
more.
and he gave away all 12 as a giveaway, but it took 1 year to amass that giveaway. One came out per month. So buying all those in one shot, not cheap, but can you afford that
one extra
once a
comic
month?
once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you plan in advance, you can pull off some really, really cool stuff. And that's what I try to do. And it helps try to be topical. It makes the thinking about it a little bit easier, aim for stuff related to stuff. But yeah, we're going to be talking some Peacemaker. We're going to kick off with talking about Peacemaker. Episode 6 this is it. This is the start of the big final 3 here. These are the 3 episodes that nobody has watched unless you were part of the cast and crew. These are the episodes that James Gunn said he wouldn't even show his publicists in fear of any leaks or spoilers getting out. These are the ones that Steve Agee, the actor who plays John Economou, stated. They're almost such elevated compared to the rest of the show that it could be its own little thing. This is episode 6 is the one that James Gunn stated that when he watched it back, he got him teary-eyed because of some of the stuff in it. And I have an idea of what scene that was. And it's just highly, highly anticipated. And the show has been really, really well paced. But this is not your standard, like, cheap, like, fast food cinema. It's really meant to be a character dive to deconstruct and break down who Christopher Smith is. If season 1 was about who is Peacemaker and where does Peacemaker fit in, season 2 is, well, where does Christopher Smith fit into this life? And we finally hit the point in the show where the foot's on the gas pedal, everything's falling apart around him. He thought he had a way out to find some kind of meaning and place in life, and it all backfired. And we got some crazy cameos, big reveals, and the setup of what's about to be a wild last 2 episodes. What did y'all think?
Yeah, and James Gunn said exactly what you just said. He said that season 1 was more about who these people were as their identities. Season 2 is more about who these people are as people.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought the last 2 episodes are the 2 best of the entire season so far. I'm excited to see what happens, going forward.
Yeah, I'm pumped for it. Now, this was like probably the worst kept secret.
Right.
And the secret was kept very well. The secret was kept perfectly well, but it was just ridiculously obvious for the initiated. If you're not a normie, what was coming was very, very obvious. And it was so obvious that Taylor Winder, like, I was just from the concept of this season with the alternate Earth in the different dimension where his brother's alive, his dad's a good guy. I thought, well, nah, there's going to be a twist to that, obviously. But Taylor Winder didn't only call the fact that it'll be a twist. He called the exact twist, bro, it's going to be Earth X. And like from the second he said it, I watched episode 1 again and watched 2 and every episode from that lens. And it was blaringly obvious. But what did y'all think of the actual reveal? Like the way it played out, like it was.
I really liked it. And it's funny too, because it actually now kind of, in some ways, how they always said that the opening of the show, exactly, it looks like a Nazi thing when he does that, right? It looks like
you said it.
I didn't notice it.
The very first dance moves he does is this and then this, and everyone's like, "Look, it's a swastika."
Yeah, exactly.
But James Gunn's like, "Oh man, I didn't think about that."
Yeah, right.
They even updated the video
Fortnite,
game
right?
character.
Yeah.
Apparently he had a dance that the character would do in Fortnite, and they're like, oh no. So whoever designed this character for the video game definitely didn't see the twist coming.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
got kids doing a Nazi dance in some video game for the past 3 weeks. That's hilarious.
As soon as she said she wanted to go for a walk, I was like, okay, well, everyone is correct then. Like that theory is 100% correct, because obviously, like you guys have been saying, how everyone's been saying, there's no people of color on that earth whatsoever. And when she said she wants to go for a walk and John says he's fine, I'm like, okay, well, they're right. This is Earth X. So
yeah, on any other Earth, that would have been like the smart thing to do. Well, if we can't be found in this house, we should probably get out of this house. But this is the one Earth in the one dimension where you probably should stay in the house. But there was some other really cool stuff. So we have the 11th Street gang, his partners in crime, coming to get him. We have Rick Flag Sr. going to look for some help in tracking him down. He's not giving up. So starting with Rick Flag Sr., we get a great scene with him in the office talking to Flurry, who he's pretty much just telling him to get out of his office. I need to think. Yeah, and Flurry comes and sits down like he was. But he gets on the phone.
So funny.
He calls. He said, "Get a hold of Belle Reeve. Tell him to come to see a prisoner." I got to tell you, as soon as he said Belle Reeve, like I went from like a very, very excited 8 just from watching the episode to an immediate 10. Like, here we go. We're going into squad territory.
I'm glad they called it Belle Reeve and not Belle Rev, by the way.
Yeah. I was like, who are we going to get? Who could it be? So like the sky was the limit for me. So I was excited about that. And while that's happening, we have the 11th Street gang going to Vigilante's house. We get to meet his mom in this hilarious scene because they need somewhere safe to go set up the little interdimensional doorway. So they choose to go to his basement lair, which we got one of the wildest scenes in the season so far outside of the unnecessary orgy. But what y'all think of his mom?
Oh, she's so funny. I mean, she's definitely the comic relief of that episode.
She's a
No.
sweetheart.
Exactly. Yeah. How many times did he say "shut up, fuck you, shut up, shut up"? Like 12 times.
He's
I mean,
like, it's okay if you're skanky.
I mean that played out exactly like how I thought it would with that type of character and whatnot. I will say it was pretty nice to see Vigilante kind of take a step forward in terms of how much on screen time he had and seeing him in his suit, and then with his Earth X partner, like that was really fun when they're like, huh, huh, huh.
Yeah, the whole Spider-Man thing. Now,
Because the
if I could,
Spider-Man theme.
if I was able to scroll my media assets, I'd be bringing up pictures from the season, but I can't scroll my media assets. Oh well. Nobody talks about all the good things that dance did, though.
All the trains ran on time.
What is going on, Scotty? Good grief, Paul. But yeah, to your point, Steve, it was cool watching Vigilante take like point man in that moment. Like, he's leading them there. And what was cool is no one's ever been to his house. Like, Adrian is everyone's friend, but nobody needs Adrian to be their friend. So this is the first time anyone's been there outside of Adrian. They walk into his basement and there's pallets and pallets and pallets of money, drugs, weapons, just everything that and they're like, Adrian, what is all this? Oh, I confiscated from drug lords and bad guys. And
You just
and
asked me for money last week.
Yeah, you asked me for money last week. Maybe pay for your breakfast. Said you were broke. I can't spend this. This is blood money. And as he's changing, they're just stealing money and stuffing it down their clothes and stuff. But it was hilarious that they set up the little interdimensional doorway in there, and the energy blowback from it blows cocaine all through the room. And their reaction was amazing. Just what the fuck? And I was expecting all of them to be high for the next little bit of the show, except for Adrian,
me too.
fully suited up. Yeah, Pablo Escobar's basement.
Do you guys think that we're gonna get like another look at that alien creature, the alien life forms that gave them that doorway device, or didn't really get? I mean, they took it from them, obviously. Do you think we're gonna see them again, or is that just like a one-off to get that device?
Yo, there's something major to that, and God, now I've forgotten who. Someone had mentioned something to me about it that they kind of said it in passing. Like we learned in this season that his dad didn't invent the folding dimensional door technology, but more importantly than that, his helmets.
Right.
Because like even if you close this dimensional doorway and that's a storyline that it's closed forever, he still has to have helmets.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't make them himself. And I know that there's some in there you can always take some with you, but then they'd be finite. And God, now I'm forgetting. Someone had a really, really great theory about his helmets and that alien that they saw in the flashback 2 episodes ago, that when the alien that had the doorway that they shot him in the woods, that maybe that alien was trying to get away from somewhere, and that wasn't its technology. It was on the run from something else. And that was a really good theory someone mentioned. Now I forgot who even said it.
What if they were running from the people from Earth X?
Yeah, I don't know.
What if there's another doorway that's open and we don't
99 doors in there.
Is that what they said? 99? I'm surprised they didn't go with 52. I mean,
we said the same thing after episode 1. We're like, dude, why in hell would you ever pick the number 99 in DC?
Yeah, it should be 52.
The number's 52, period. 52. Even if it doesn't mean anything more than an Easter egg, you pick there's 52 doors, period.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just going to assume they miscounted.
Right.
The real number's 52.
Right.
What if Earth X is a mutant planet from 1997? Unfortunately, Earth X is a Nazi planet from 2000.
Well, they have smartphones on Earth X. We do know that.
Yeah. Yo, dude, I think the craziest part of this episode was when Keith jumps out of the truck at the end and screams, "One got out."
Right.
Oh my God. One got out. It's a black. I'm like, oh my God.
So that makes me think that like all those people we're seeing on like the sidewalks when they're driving in with Harcourt, like, and everyone's like looking in like all these buildings, that has to be where they have them, right? Where they're keeping where they're deciding to keep African Americans, which is despicable, obviously.
It's going to be everybody, not just African Americans. It's going to be Asian people, Middle East. It's going to be everybody who's not
white, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's why he specified a black. They're going to have like internment camps. Like Pops called it. As soon as Judo Master went through the door to follow him at the end of the last episode, Pop says, "Oh, oh, great! Now Judo Master is going to end up in an internment camp."
hmm
That's the best theory I've seen there, Pops. I will say that's the best theory.
Oh wow, yeah. So if we can get this into some form or fashion, like there's a possibility that they're using this to link up with the Lantern show, like just to introduce the idea of the cosmic stuff, you know.
Sure.
Because Lanterns has got to take cosmic and bring it to terrestrial. If we're still going with the original concept, the pitch that he gave us, like it'll be a cosmic based story on a terrestrial plane, you know, like the Lanterns are responding to a space crime here on Earth kind of deal.
Right.
I wonder if that could link into this show on some form or fashion. This is clearly not of Earth technology, and you know they keep showing us that goofy alien inside the folding doors. It's always burning the vermin in the little incinerator.
That never says hello.
That never says hello.
The eyes kind of look like what's his name? Trigon.
Yeah, with the multiple eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. Dude, how wild was it when they all are in alternate Christopher's room and Harcourt's talking to Keith, and then Economist is just sitting there trying not to throw up because he's
No one does that. No one does it. Stop.
Chris gave me this globe. Really? His dead mother gave him that globe. Why would he give it to you?
Oh, weird, right?
I'm excited to see what they decide to do with episode 8, because it sounds like from the interviews and everything that he said, yeah, I hope so too. That would be pretty cool, but I don't think we will yet, but maybe. I'm excited to see what they do, because it sounds like episode 8 was where he's like, okay, this is really where I want the overarching story to go, with episode 8 starting all of that. So I'm interested to see what happens.
So do you think we get a Nazi Superman?
Overman.
That's an Overman. Yeah. I mean, Variant Comics, Eris Quinones talked about that on a short the other day. Thought that was interesting. Me and Mark were talking about that, because I personally think, here's my theory, Rick Flag Jr. is that Superman from that universe, because he's like stumbling around, acting like Clark Kent would be, you know, being all weird and whatnot. I think personally that he is going to be the Superman of that Earth. But Mark thinks, and he's heard other theories as well, which actually sounds pretty legit too. But that's my thoughts.
Well, my theory that I've been saying since they showed the bumbling Rick Flag that we talked about was, I think he's like, after watching episode, was it 3 that we got Flag back?
It was 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we got Flag back, my initial thought was, Flag don't act like that on any Earth.
No.
And I know Gunn said, well, it's a different Earth. You act different. I think he's my initial thought is he's clearly, because we got him in the episode in the Sons of Liberty. He's clearly an inside man with the Sons of Liberty, and that's part of his cover. Because at the very base level, he's competing for the girl. You know, he wants the girl. He wants the inside knowledge, and these Sons of Liberty have inside knowledge. I mean, as much as you can have. You know, they either study up well in these places how to get in and out without getting attacked by the metahumans or the superheroes, if that's what you want to call them. Right. But you assume they have inside man, and we get revealed in this one that Vigilante on this world is with the Sons of Liberty, but it isn't like Adrian's running any kind of team or anything. They'd all be dead by now.
Yep.
Yeah. And TM Nerdy was talking about G.I. Robot. I mean, Gunn did say that we will see a live action G.I. Robot, but he didn't guarantee it would be in Peacemaker. But how can you not have G.I. Robot say, "Can I kill Nazis now?" You know, in the Peacemaker show.
Yep, I agree.
It's kind of, and the only downside that if they did bring G.I. Robot into this, the only downside would be is that he doesn't have his original body. He has that big mech body now at the end of Reach Commandos. I think it'd be cooler looking if he just rolls in the proper G.I. Robot body. His hand goes back and he just goes to town. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly like it is in an animated series.
It doesn't have to be our universe's G.I. Robot. It could be.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So, you know,
Rick Flag Sr. looks completely different in the animated show than he does on the Peacemaker show.
Right.
Well, that's thanks to Tulsa King. That's completely.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of
that. Okay. Which is new episode on tonight, by the way, which I'll be watching after this.
See, I have
episode 1. Have you watched any of them?
Landman is very good.
Yeah, dude, Landman, Tulsa King, and Lioness. I'll swear by all of them.
Lioness is great as well.
Lioness is that.
1883, 1923 are good. Yellowstone, I'm glad is over because that kind of sucked at the end, honestly. But 1923, dude, Brandon Sklenar, I hope he becomes Batman. He is great.
Dude. So the big scene in this, going back to Peacemaker, that James Gunn said, gets him emotional. I think it was clearly the dialogue between Harcourt proper and Peacemaker when, after she tries to come catch up with him and she gets like put in a temporary hold because the drug dog was barking at her due to being covered from head to toe in cocaine a couple hours earlier, thanks to Vigilante. Christopher gets her out of that, but they're talking about coming back home. And it was pretty emotionally charged scene. He keeps asking her over and over, is there anything here? And she's kind of questioning him, just like dropping everything to come here to play make believe in fairyland. And there's this like really, really well acted back and forth between them two. And there's this line she delivers where she just says, "I cannot access my emotions like you can." And she's like breaking down, and you can, dude, what's her name? Jennifer Holland. She's got chops. Like, she was sitting there, like, tears in her eyes without crying. Like, just like she delivered the hell out of that scene. And I was like, ooh, man, this show just hits on a different level, because you'll be sitting there with this goofy dancing intro, and then minutes later you'll be in a scene like this, and it just really gets you, because you don't know when these kind of scenes that hit deep like that are going to happen, and when they do it, it's pretty wild.
I was telling my wife, I was like, I actually played back the scene where he's like, "I love you, Harcourt," and she goes, "I know." I was like, "That's you and me, Winter," because she doesn't like to say it back. She does, but I'm the emotional one of us too. I know it's not hard.
We can tell from your microphone.
I'm very, very emotional, guys. Yeah, the pink microphone. Yeah,
it doesn't look pink on my end, but yeah, it was solid, and it looks like things are going south quickly, because while Harcourt and Chris were in there, Altcourt shows up, and they get busted. And this is the first time we've seen Altcourt, this alternate Harcourt, for numerous episodes. She's a sweetheart. You could tell she's got a little bit of a fun side flair to her. But they bust into the room, and she just points across the way and "Sprechen to Deutsch," and just
you know what happens, right?
On crazy.
If you go back and watch the trailer for the season, there is a shot. It's about a half second long of Peacemaker flying out holding Harcourt, because we know he's wearing that suit with the little thing.
He's got his jetpack on. Yeah,
he's got his jetpack on, so he's gonna fly out with her in the next episode.
Nice. And we've also got that shot of them having to drag her bleeding through the doors.
Yeah, she's gonna get shot at some point by someone.
While all this was happening, General Flagg was not sitting on his hands. He was making his next move, his next play. They arrested Peacemaker. Economist pulled his thing in the last episode and got him processed, got him out of there. So Flagg is trying to find him. He wants to figure out where the doorway is. So he made the call to Belle Reve. Now he's going to Belle Reve, and we get the secret that was being kept for this episode was a cameo of a character, and as many people would call him, the biggest hater in DC Comics. But he comes walking out with a cane and sits down across the visitor's chair from General Flagg, and we get the big reveal: Lex Luthor is who Flagg went to go see for help.
Because if you need somebody to open an interdimensional portal, he's the last one who did it.
Well, and I didn't understand the whole cane thing. It should have been his arm, but I understand he got beat up and all that.
He got thrown.
I know you guys talked about it on the Friday morning stream. I know I'm late to the game on that, but that was kind of weird. And I agree with what Mark said. He was talking completely different than he did in the movie. As I said when I was watching. Tom King, right? Tom King makes everyone feels like you're talking like you're Tom King, right? But beside the point, we do know in the next episode there's gonna be someone new coming in, and if you zoom in on the trailer for the next episode and add some brightness, it's just that guy with the mustache from the Superman movie.
Yeah, how Lex had Otis. In this movie, Otis was in the new stuff was played by the black guy who was a reoccurring character, but then the white guy who had the mustache and kind of the almost like bowl cut, who was the only two reoccurring characters in Lex's.
He was the guy that was pushed aside by Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, it's him. He's who they got to go track the door for General Flagg.
Well, and that shot that we see in the trailer for the next episode is actually just that area from the Superman movie where they're doing all their stuff with with their clone guy. It's just that sweet area. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm trying to think of places
Okay,
that.
it's Superman. It's Superman. Lex Luthor and his whole crew fly off the LexCorp building within that little area.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
area. That little whatever it's
The
called.
little command center.
His little command center. There you go. That's where they are taking his stuff off, and the trailer is that command center.
Is he going to fly her out of there, or do they fight their way out? Because in the preview for episode 7, they are both beat up.
No, they're going to fly out, and then they're probably
They get out of that building, but then they're going to hop on the Peace Cycle and go riding, and then Keith and the Blue Dragon are going to catch up with them once they're surrounded by cops, is what it looked like.
Yep.
Why'd you come back here? Is the line of dialogue that August gives them. Did y'all see the rumors that Sweeney was supposed to pop up as Augie's girlfriend in this world?
No.
Yeah, there was rumors going around last
Sydney
week.
Sweeney.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I can see where those.
I would
rumors
not
are
be against
coming
her being on the show. I would not.
from. Or
be
in anything.
Anything.
Well, but yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. I think the sky's the limit. Me and Steve were talking about it, but I can see a lot of potentials. There's a lot of different paths this show can go on to give us some really cool moments, like Rick Flag, because we know from the trailers, that Argus has a team with the guys in like the red hazmat suits, opening different doors and trying to see what's behind them and stuff.
And one of the doors is the black hole, which they replaced in the second trailer from the first trailer with the whole like the spider people with the skeleton head.
I think there's both. I think both of those things.
You think both are going to be in there?
Yeah, like the classic, like open a door, see something bad. Oh, not this one, and close it again. Then you go and open the next one, and I think we're going to get both.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so, because that's that black hole one. People get sucked into or something, or someone comes out and grabs them or something.
I kind of want them to show a Snyderverse world. I know it's not going to happen, but it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it would be in poor taste. Like you would just,
You think it'll just piss people off?
Yeah, definitely. I think that people like myself, I would be like, oh yeah, that's cool, but like, the people that would get mad.
Yeah, the
like,
people that spend all day posting about the Snyderverse on Twitter and whatnot. Yeah, I get it.
Instead of just enjoying what you had. I can say this from experience. You can always go back and rewatch it, because I sure do. Like,
they're not going anywhere.
I watch them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but where would y'all rate this episode?
I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it.
Same. Yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed it. Getting the confirmation it's Earth X is pretty cool. Getting more Vigilante has been great. He was spectacular in season 1, so I've really been waiting for him.
Saying that every single episode.
Yeah, I've been waiting for him to get more screen time.
And the fact that they kind of held him back, it was nice of them to double down with this episode, because he's been saying it over and over. Think there's another me in there. Think there's another me in there. And this episode, he would not let up.
Oh my God, he was
watching
laughing
him go back
everything.
and forth with himself was amazing. Hey, we're doing the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
He's from him jumping into the bush when a car is driving by to laughing about every single thing in the house and in the yard. Oh my God, my dad's not gay.
And the funny thing about that is his dad very well could be on this world, but if he ever said that out loud, he would end up in a camp.
Yep, that's true.
But yeah, it was wild seeing how they were just two peas in a pod until it got down to this Peacemaker, your best friend here. No, I hate him.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I hope the next episode's longer. This one had a 38-minute long runtime, including the credits and stuff.
I was waiting for you to bring that up.
I want an hour.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 on the Joes. Yep, pop script to me. Yeah, I give this one a high ranking in terms of like stacking the episodes. I think it was my second favorite episode. The last episode was just my favorite episode. It just hit for me. I don't know what it was about it. I just really, really, really like that last episode a lot. Something about episode 5s. For the first season, it was the same thing outside of the finale, which the season 1 finale was spectacular. I don't know if y'all have gone back and rewatched season 1. I've watched it a couple of times at this point. But when they were like, they had to do the whole raid on the barn where the butterflies were, and like there was a huge like fight to get into the barn. Like Harcourt really went hard in the pain and like almost died trying to get in there. And the whole thing with Peacemaker talking to Goff, that final conversation was amazing. And how it was Adebayo with the helmet on and Peacemaker just activating it and sending her body just trailing behind it. It was awesome. And I can still remember like the exact moment that the Justice League showed up in the first season one. Like, and I'm so glad that I own that on physical media, because they were talking about going back in and just altering that clip, because it would take them nothing to go in and just re-upload the final episode and just change less than 1 minute worth of footage that they refilmed. And you never have that on, if you don't buy physical media, you would never have the original cut at that point.
Right.
That being a Snyderverse property could easily just like that be lost to time.
Yep. I agree. Yeah. I would say 1, 5, and 6 are my 3 favorite. And then the other 3 are in the next batch. They're not as good as the other 3, but it's still good overall.
Yeah.
Season 1 was on another level.
Yeah, this episode was also the first time that he directed an episode this season 2.
Oh,
I thought he directed episode 1.
I don't think so.
Huh.
I could be wrong, but I thought that he only directed. I thought this was the first one that he directed, but I could be wrong.
No, you could be right. Also, hey, you remember that actor who plays Jimmy Olsen?
Yeah, I heard about him.
Yeah,
Skylar Gisondo.
Yeah, he's not related to Philip Seymour Hoffman, by the way.
No matter what y'all might hear,
exactly.
It's not true.
If I tell you that, call me a bold-faced liar.
Mm-mm. The last 2 episodes are super short. Gunn is just writing too much and needs to build out a bigger writing team. That's the one thing Gunn said he didn't want to do. Too many writers means too many people making changes to his work.
Yeah, I think he's micromanaging it at this point, and I get it because it's a universe.
Double-edged sword, ain't it? Mm-hmm. But this we got 2 more episodes, and then we're past the full-on James Gunn aspect of the DCU, and we move into the greater DCU. A lot of people, you like it, you don't like it. A lot of it is just taste right now. You have Creature Commandos. Well, really, you have the Suicide Squad, Creature Commandos, Peacemaker 1 and 2, and Superman. That's all that's DCU really right now. And Suicide Squad's a little whatever, but it's all James Gunn, written, directed, and all that stuff. And so people have their takes on it, and that's fair. But after this, we move into the actual greater DCU. James Gunn's like at the helm of all this, but he's not the only creative mind that will be contributing to this. With Lanterns, with Supergirl, with Clayface, we have different writers, we have different directors. They have their own visions, their own tones, their own style that'll actually form out a very versatile DCU, which I'm looking forward to a lot. Lanterns is still my most.
Yeah, I'm very much anticipating that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys your thoughts on how they really have not released that much information about upcoming projects. Do you feel like it's because they are still unsure about what's going to do good versus not do good, and they want to focus on making sure the stuff they have is good, or what? And what kind of projects you guys want to say? Because it doesn't feel like there's that much talk about other shows coming up.
Paul?
I didn't hear the question because I was looking up the director for season 1.
Question is, what are your thoughts on the fact that they've not really talked that much about other projects and shows and all of that outside of Supergirl and Clayface and Lanterns coming up? It's kind of gone quiet on that front.
Yeah, I mean, again, Gunn made a comment about how his Gods and Monsters thing was like this 10-year project, and he had it all lined up. But now some of the things that he had planned for the beginning of it are gone. And so it's being able, he's trying to pivot and everything. And so I think, he's using the people that are available to him as an opportunity to advance the story of Gods and Monsters, while still keeping open the fact that, because he also said, I'm not gonna do a Batman movie just to do a Batman movie,
Which they said
gotta have a good story first. So if he doesn't have a good story, even though maybe Batman might be the next one up, if he doesn't have a good story, he's not going to do it.
Yeah, that was the key. He said from the very get-go, we're not filming nothing without a finished, proper script. So all of it, from his initial announcements, it's all been up in the air.
Mhm.
Like they slowed Authority down. They added Clayface. They added Sergeant Rock. They pulled back on Sergeant Rock. They pushed forward the Amazon's, not even the Amazon show, but the Wonder Woman thing. They're wanting to kind of move faster to get to a Wonder Woman. But I think sitting on an active show that we're just over halfway through a show and have Supergirl movie in production where we're seeing set photos and stuff, have a Clayface movie in production where we're seeing set photos and stuff, and having a Lanterns TV show in production where we're seeing that's actually a lot of stuff to have 3 major projects, has 2 or silver screen features, and one's an HBO show.
I guess they have also announced a Superman sequel, so that's up there. But
yeah, I feel like that's a lot of stuff at any given time with our MCU stuff. I mean, they have the slate ahead of us, but how much are they actively working on? You know,
and Warner Brothers has said they want 2 movies, per year. So they have Supergirl and Clayface next year, right? Then they have Man of Tomorrow and Batman 2 the year
they
after.
said they wanted 2 shows, 2 movies, and 2 animated projects per year.
Right.
By the way, so far, there's 1 show next year.
James Gunn did direct episode 1 of season 2.
Say again.
Said James Gunn did direct episode 1 of season 2.
Oh, I know. I heard you.
And he's you just want me to say it again. and he's directing episode 8 as well.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what other shows that they're going to announce at some point. Because
I'll be honest with you. Like, I get excited for the movie, Steve, but I think the shows, there's something about it because we get so much more. You
get almost like for instance, Peacemaker. We're going to get 6 hours of footage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so you get a lot more time to talk about it and think about it and all of that stuff. And when it comes to that, it doesn't matter really how much money it makes, because it's not going to make any money because it's a TV show, right? Like, it feels like that's all everyone talked about is a box office for Superman instead of how good of a movie it actually was.
Exactly. And you talk about Superman, I mean, probably for maybe 2-3 weeks overall, probably, right?
Right.
You talk about Peacemaker for two months.
Yeah, and he did say that he's going to continue doing that, so people do that, so they can go back and talk about it versus binging and dropping a whole show like Netflix likes to do. Which I really hope that they do not buy WB.
Yeah, because he also said that it's important that people digest what they've seen and think about it and everything, and in anticipation for the next one, as opposed to, oh, this one's over. Oh, in 10 seconds, my next episode starts.
Right.
Yeah. And I saw a couple people like I don't want to try to assume where their allegiances lie, but I've seen a couple of crap posts online talking about the viewership. Peacemaker didn't hit the Nielsen chart, but I went and looked up the viewership numbers myself, and there was a 22% increase in season 2 compared to even the finale of season 1, which the finale had the biggest draw for season 1. So the show's seen a massive increase, which is good news for someone like me who I want to see as much squad adjacent stuff as you can throw at me.
He did say that he's not guaranteeing a season 3 though.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd be too busy at that point to do it.
I mean, I would imagine if we're going to get a season 3, it'll be another 2 or 3 year, break in between. You know what I mean? And all the stuff that's going to happen between now and then.
They were talking about the Waller show still.
Yeah, they have discussed Waller as well. There's a bunch of shows and movies that they've talked about and killed. So I don't know what's coming. I made a video about what I would like to see and what I think is going to happen, but you never know.
Well, I think the Lanterns is supposed to be first quarter next year, if I'm not mistaken.
I personally feel like the best way for DC to do well is to not try to make trilogies out of every single character, right? Mm-hmm. Like certain characters, Superman, Batman, maybe Wonder Woman, but everyone else, one movie. That's all they get. And they can pop up in other movies, of course, but we don't need, 3 movies of.
Yeah, everyone doesn't deserve a movie. It's really that simple.
Well,
you can look at what Marvel's done and realize some of these people should have just been supporting in other projects, and you got to keep tentpole characters. I know James Gunn proved like he can break that glass ceiling. He did it with Guardians, which people they give Guardians so much credit, like, oh, you don't have to have known characters. Guardians was already standing on the back of other established projects and build up hype. It wasn't a standalone film. It was already an entry into a saga.
And it had very well-known established people involved with the movie. I mean, you had Bradley Cooper, Zoe Saldana, Chris Pratt, Vin Diesel. I mean, you had some pretty well-known actors in that movie as well.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if we ever got a Batman 3. I know money talks, but I would be very surprised because I think they're
I
letting him do
agree.
Batman 2, but then I think James Gunn says, okay, you know what? Now Batman is mine.
Yes, I think that's the best course of action. I still think it's a bad idea that he's getting a second movie.
Oh, I
But-
don't. If they don't have a good script, and they love Matt Reeves' script, let him make the movie.
Or maybe they're like, let's turn him into, like, you can do Batman 2, but after that, he's mine, and we're moving him into the DCU. Maybe that's what they're doing.
I still, to every fiber of my being, thinks that would be the best move to make. And I've talked
It
to
is.
some people like Buddy J over at the Unchosen One. He's on the opposite side of the fence in this. He says it just doesn't fit. And I think that the fact that like Matt Reeves' Batman does not fit in Metropolis, but you know what else doesn't fit in Metropolis? Batman doesn't fit in Metropolis, and Superman doesn't fit in Gotham. There's nothing about these characters that fit. You can go back and just, even as a normie, go watch Batman the Animated Series and go watch The Adventures of Superman. Nothing about these two things look. Superman's got like high rail trains, and it almost looks like the Emerald City, just not green. It's so future tech.
Right.
I'm being serious. And then you go to Gotham, and it looks like it's a mixture of modern past Art Deco. It looks like you can't even pinpoint the time, Erica, that still hasn't properly moved into the future at the same rate. But then you see them cross over, and nothing looks wrong about them crossing over. It just makes the difference of the characters like they're supposed to. The Dark Knight and the Last Sun, like it's supposed to have that difference. If you don't see that difference, you're doing it wrong. And that's what the MCU got so wrong along the way, where everything was just painted with the same brush, and that's
Absolutely.
not how it
I'm not saying that they don't use Robert Pattinson or everything that they've established in Batman in Matt Reeves' Batman, but I don't think they're going to wait another 3 or 4 years for him to write another movie.
No,
1000% agree. They want Batman sooner than later.
Yeah.
He's the, like, despite Superman being the biggest superhero of all time, the most recognizable worldwide superhero ever, Batman is still their biggest financial draw in comic books and in film.
I agree. I'm interested to see what they do.
Like, think about this, man. The $1 billion projects from the DCU all involved Batman in them, and 2 of them didn't even have Batman in them. Not why are you out of bed? I appreciate that. Oh, Pop, good night. He's watching.
Bye, Papa.
Oh, he said, get in bed right now. You better run. You better run.
He did.
You better run.
He did.
Not yet, he didn't. He's probably typing it, though.
That's amazing.
Wait, what is he watching?
I go back and watch like the last 5-10 minutes of The Dark Knight Rises all the time, just because it's so epic.
Bro, I love that fight, like when Bane's coming down the steps and he's just fighting to get his arms up, and it's just that shot from right over his shoulder with Bane coming down. Dude, when they're fighting and like they're just going at it, he moves out of the way and Bane just lays into the column. That fight was tough.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. It really is. That's an amazing trilogy.
It is. It's my favorite, the best, in my opinion. But I know people also think that the Tobey Spider-Man is the best, and I could see that.
Tobey Spider-Man is the best.
Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man movie they made.
Oh, the best Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 is in the top 5 superhero films.
You think the Spider-Man trilogy is better than the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy?
No. I just thought you meant that Tobey was the
Spider-Man
best.
3 totally wiped out any contention that the Spider-Man
I agree.
would have anything to do with that.
Yeah, we say that, but it's definitely a highly, highly rewatchable because of all the fun action.
Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, it was one of the best superhero movies ever. Yeah. Kevin, what's going on? He says James Gunn DC Vision isn't going to mean anything at all. David Zaslav looking for a big payout to sell off Warner Brothers Discovery. Feel bad for the employees. Yeah, David Zaslav is I think he's actually not wanting to sell, isn't he? Like
he wants what he wants for it, and he's not gonna take a low ball.
Yeah, so because it hits a point where it's not even up to him, right?
I think in the end, like the shareholders have to approve it, right?
And you can, if they had a certain number, like there's a magic number for any company that ethically you're not allowed to say no to, right?
Probably if it's like a certain percentage above what the stock price is or something like that, or like 20% above the current stock price or something like that.
I need to read some articles on that because I'm not.
Yeah, I saw the thing where Warner Brothers sent a bid and Zaslav's like, nah, we're not doing that. No. And then Netflix was talking like, well, maybe we can. But this does go all the way back to James Gunn first announcing this DCU. We talked about it here, like the reports and rumors that this is Warner Brothers attempting to polish up their projects, their properties, and their business to make it look profitable and show a potential buyer the roadmap to profitability if they're looking to buy.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what happened with Elon. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna overpay out the ears for this thing, so you can't say no. Then I want to release the Twitter files.
And Gunn also said that when he was doing his presentation on the DC universe to Saffron and Zaslav, that what happens in Peacemaker episode 8 is what he presented to them. The end of Peacemaker episode 8 as the DC
like universe. The DCU is in timeline wise and where it's going.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that because he did say there was an interview recently. I think he did it with Brandon Davis, where he's talking about there are going to be projects in different timelines. Not everything is going to happen current. That makes me think we're going to get some JSA action. We might get some Gotham by Gaslight action. We might get, Kingdom Come,
the Elseworld stuff.
Yeah, we're going to get that, which would be fantastic.
How cool would that be if they just did like a standalone Gaslight?
God, that was so. I mean, the animated is amazing.
Yeah, the current. Are you reading the current?
No.
What's it called? Like Gaslight something Justice.
The League of Justice or something like that.
Yeah, it's really solid. It's just the Gotham by Gaslight Justice League now. Like it's really cool.
Especially I mean, it's steampunk Justice League.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take books off my list, not add any. So
I'd rather them not touch Kingdom Come unless they're going to do it in like a 2-part animated film.
They already got the escort.
Huh?
They do already. I mean, yeah, they have to be going toward that, right? They have to be.
It's just weird they haven't already done that.
Yeah,
like in terms of all the DC animated films that we've got.
I mean, I agree. Like, how has that not been an animated film yet? No.
Yeah, we got you up here, bud. Yeah, we got you. And we'll see what happens. Because I don't think Netflix got the money to do it, man. Netflix always operates from like a weird level of profitability.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a company because they won't Disney won't be allowed to buy it. We already know that because they've already been stopped from buying other stuff at this point, right? With the monopoly laws and stuff. Because it went like 2 years ago or something like that. They were looking to buy something else, and they're like, "Nah, y'all can't. You're not allowed to anymore."
Yeah, but I mean, they're the only thing that technically would stand in their way would be the government, and the current government seems to be more okay with mergers of these giant corporations, even though you're going from 5 major studios down to 4 or 3 or whatever. They seem to be more okay with it. And it's all basically because they're the ones that would fight it and say no, because of monopoly laws. We're not going to let you do it.
Yep.
What level of court? What level of court is it? Is that actually handled in? Because I mean, the government's a big thing and it's all compartmentalized. Because here we go. Apple was considered buying Disney,
but the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, I want to say they're the ones that make the final decision as to whether or not they're going to allow these companies to merge.
Got you. Yeah, there's a lot to look into and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Be curious. Has Warner Brothers officially split from Discovery again yet? I know they announced
that's supposed to happen in April, I thought.
Yeah, you're going to have Warner Brothers, the movies, and HBO Max on one side, and all the cable channels on the other side, basically.
They keep changing.
Well, I'm just glad, because I'm a big Warner Brothers guy. Have been my whole life. Like I remember being a little kid watching Bugs Bunny in a tuxedo popping up next to that logo. I've always been partial to Warner Brothers. So I'm just glad that they like despite it being a sad state of affairs, watching them have to be in a position where they're having to like merge with companies and get bought out by AT&T and then to go back. It's kind of sad, and but I'm glad that they're still operating. I'm glad that they're at a point where
They're the number one film franchise or
This year
company
so
in
far.
the world. this year.
2024 by far. They're like leading the way big time.
Yeah,
That
2025.
doesn't mean
they're
next year's going to be great. I
No.
think all of them were in a very weird place due to COVID and the extreme weird handling of those years. But maybe this is, last year was a year where it looked like all the film studios were spending big money again and releasing projects and the stuff that they've been sitting on, and none of them, like, save for, like, you probably count on one hand the big releases that were profitable at all. It was just, it was nicknamed the year of the flop busters because everything just tanked. But this year it looks like things are turned profitable again for the studios, which is fantastic. I don't know if he has much say over
Yeah,
Warner.
the only person worried about that is you.
Yeah. Next year.
No one even thought about that or was talking about that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just hope in the grand scheme of things, we still always have Warner Brothers. And even like what we saw with Disney, with them buying 20th Century Fox, I'm glad it's still called 20th Century Fox. I'm glad it still operates under its own entity and stuff like that. Because there's a lot, I have fond memories of 20th Century Fox listening to the dun dun dun. I don't want to see these things go away. They're like American institutions,
Yeah, and that's why, it's like but to your point about like monopolies and things like that's why they couldn't take all of Fox, because like Fox is a network, Disney owns ABC. You can't have the same people own two of the four major networks.
Yeah.
Right.
So Fox had to keep Fox, it had to keep FS1, it had to keep, Fox Sports because Disney owns ESPN, for the same reason, which is why you still have Fox existing. But they basically changed 20th Century Fox to just 20th Century Studios instead because they couldn't use the word Fox. So yeah, it's and I'm the same way. I mean, I love to watch those old things that talk about the history of the studios and everything.
Mm-hmm. That's like if we didn't have the MGM line anymore.
Yeah,
that would be
exactly.
sad. And now Amazon just keeps it there as just like they're just being respectful. We bought the studio. We're not going to change the name of it. Like,
I took a history of journalism class in college because I'm a journalism grad, and it was really cool to learn about like the printing press and then the radio and about the ABC, NBC, CBS.
The history of the printing press is very cool.
Like all of it, like going from from printing newspapers,
from the Gutenberg Bibles all the way to the present.
I was about to say it goes way back.
The radios, the TV, the color
printing
TV.
press is single-handedly responsible for the Reformation era in religion.
It was a
commoners were finally able to read the book for themselves for the first time. They're like, wait a minute,
but
you said we're supposed to give you money.
My professor walked around without shoes on all the time. That's what I remember about that class.
Oh, she was what?
What's that?
She walked around what?
It was a dude, old dude. He walked around with no shoes on all the time, just in his socks.
Sounds like a man after my heart.
Yeah, I guess so.
No shoes, no problem. Gutenberg Bible. Yeah, but we'll talk about a little bit of 20th Century Fox. Did either of y'all watch the finale to Alien Earth, the big Hulu?
Nope.
Alien TV show. First time we get an Alien TV show. Not the first attempt. Back in the 90s, we were supposed to get an animated Alien show called Operation Alien that was supposed to piggyback off the success of James Cameron's Alien show. Because back in the 90s, the biggest thing to do was take these R-rated blockbusters and turn them into kids shows so that you can sell toys for to kind of capture the hype that the kids have for these movies they weren't allowed to watch. But we finally got an Alien TV show. It ran for 8 episodes. It was a Hulu original, premiered on Hulu, and we got episode 8, the finale to it this past week. And what are y'all's thoughts on this show as a whole, the finale?
Well, how things have changed in 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Everyone who was captive is now free, and everyone who was keeping people captive are now captive.
I will say this show sucks. Like I'm an Alien fan. I was cautiously hopeful through the first bit of it. Like I went into this thinking it was just going to be good. Like I had no reservations at all. And with every episode, there's little elements that are cool, a scene that's cool, but and there was one episode that they even inserted what could have possibly been the start of a good story or concept or something. But it just completely fell apart. We had this flashback episode at episode 5, which was actually a really phenomenal standalone episode But episode 6, 7, and 8, like it's like the show didn't know what to do, or like they had the concept of ideas to make a show, and then they decided not to actually make the show, just to spend 7 episodes with concepts of storylines doing nothing that culminates in a finale that has all 9 of its plot points that go nowhere and we do nothing with it. There's not a single plot thread through this entire show that gets addressed or they do anything with. It was almost like they were writing and they get to a point in writing and someone just says, stop, put your pencils down. That's our finale. It was absolutely mind-boggling how bad they dropped the ball on this show. I do not understand for the life of me what happened. It's absolutely bananas. I've never seen something make such a turn like this.
It's on Hulu?
Yeah.
All right, so now I know not to watch it. Okay.
And it's so well made too. Like production quality is all there.
Is it animated?
No, it's live action. Performances are really good. I'll tell you one thing they went wrong with the whole concept. See, I'll give you the idea here. All right, you ready?
Let me hear it, because then I gotta go.
A billionaire takes a bunch of underage kids to an island and trans them, and then they fight aliens.
Wow, wow. Okay.
On the surface, that's what they did. It's fucking crazy, dude.
I mean, that kind of sounds like
the implication is crazy.
The Predators show, but instead of actual killers, they're training people to be killers, right?
It's just,
we don't get Adam Brody out there.
It's got these weird Epstein undertones to it. It's very weird. No, so you know the alien world, how there's the company Wayland, you know, that, and they have like the androids in it and stuff, and there's humans and all that. This you follow a different company that's trying to take the human and transfer their mind into an android body. You know, we have androids with, you know, android minds, just computer minds. So it doesn't work moving adults over because your brain's too rooted. So you meet these terminally ill kids in the beginning, and to attempt to save them, they're taking advantage of the terminally ill. I mean, they have no way to cure them, so they use them to move them over. So you follow a group of adult-bodied androids with kid minds in them, which makes for bad television already, because you have a bunch of grown adults acting like little kids, and they're not acting like little kids. They're acting like adults acting like little kids. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then you put him.
How old are these kids?
Take aliens, throw in some Peter Pan and some Lord of the Flies, and that's what you have.
And they literally on the island, they literally name them after like Wendy Darling and Nips. They name them after the Lost Boys and stuff, and they're showing them Peter Pan. Like it gets really, really creepy. Like right at the beginning, from a meta level. It's not like in continuity creepy. Like y'all didn't read The Room. Y'all didn't go outside and check the wind of society right now. This is kind of poor taste. Like, when did you write this? Like release the Epstein files. Don't make this show. Like, this makes no sense right now. What are you doing? But so in order to make a show, you now have to make a bunch of bad decisions. Like, you can't justify the bad decisions that are made through the entire show. The entire show. We have this multi-billion-dollar project, human being android experiment. Oh, have them go to that crashed spaceship and retrieve alien specimens for me. Oh, what if you lose them? They cost too much. We don't know what these kids will do. I don't know. Just bring them back. It'll be fun. Like, nothing in the show makes sense. But
the only thing that I want to see if there's a season 2 is I want to see if the eyeball one is actually fighting against the xenomorphs. That's the only thing I want to see.
Yeah. So they introduced other alien species, like a spaceship crashes on Earth that have like different specimens, including the xenomorph. But there's also like this eyeball, like these tentacle hands, but it like jumps on people and it kills them by replacing their eye, and then it can pilot their body. You can do it with animals, people, whatever. And you find out it's super smart. Like, the main alien of this show wasn't even a xenomorph, which is fine. There's plenty of xenomorph in it, but this is where it gets stupid, Steve. The main little kid, it's in an adult body. Her name is Wendy, because that's Peter Pan's favorite. She click clacks and talks to aliens, and the alien's like her pet. The perfect killing machine, the perfect organism is just her pet, running around killing people for her, like, and then she's petting it. It's stupid.
My gosh, that
makes
weird.
No sense.
That is crazy.
There's some cool like special effects to it, like when people get their jaws punched off, and when an alien like does a little, the little mouth in the mouth through someone's head and then thrashes them around. Cool special effects and cool kill scenes doesn't make a good movie or a good show. Like, you can check any 80s slasher film for confirmation. It makes cool death scenes, but you can go watch Mortal Kombat cutscenes. You know,
Timothy
you go watch
Olyphant on it.
you go
Interesting.
watch The Boys if you want to watch a stupid show with just edgelord stuff in it.
That's interesting. Well, with that, I do got to get out of here, but I appreciate you having me on.
No. All right. Well, we're going to touch on Marvel Zombies, and we're going to look at the new history of DC Universe, and we'll be out of here. All right, Steve. Appreciate you coming,
later,
man.
guys. Make love to the night.
We'll do. Sledgehead Assault come in from episode 1. All the signs were there for it to be good, but they were going to lose the thread. Yo, as soon as we had Cavaliers like main assistants talking to Joe saying, we don't know if her consciousness moved over or if it's just smart AI programming mimicking her. I'm like, well, there's your show. There's your show. There's your story. That now build on that. Come back to that. Do that. We don't even know why the stupid guy was in the hallway with the blowtorch on the goo on the walls. What was the goo on the walls? Why is he blowtorching it? Why is he wearing like a suit like he works in like in the engine room of the Titanic? Like what are we doing? Nothing in the show. Nothing. Not a bit of it.
The goose from the xenomorphs, because they do have a drooling problem.
Yeah, but the xenomorph wasn't in there. Like that's what I was thinking. Are they going to reveal that this guy's got his own xenomorph in here somewhere? Like he's got a queen on the island? They did nothing. More of the story is that safety protocols never work. Not if you don't follow them. Not if you don't follow them. Did you describe How to Train Your Dragon or this alien show? You know what's funny is I got to show you what I sent to Darth. Darth Lopez is an Alien fan, and I was talking to him throughout the show coming out, and I caught the finale before he did. So I sent him this picture, J-Med. How to Train Your Xenomorph. But yeah, it was so unfortunate. It was such a letdown. It was like the potential was all there, and I've heard a couple people say, you know, our buddy Durr said it was a great finale, especially if we get a season 2. If we don't get a season 2, it won't be so great. Bro, that isn't how movies and TVs work. Like a movie or a TV show isn't good contingent upon 2 years later or something might happen. Like like where we are, this is the show. If nothing else ever happens, this is the show. Thought it was fine. Then again, I appreciate the Crow recent remake. I still haven't watched that yet. I'm letting some time go. I tell you what, as bad as the Crow got panned, I'll probably end up enjoying it when I watch it. Kind of like with Morbius. Morbius got panned so hard for so long. When people started watching it, they're like, yo, this was fun. It's a terrible movie, but you know what you're getting into when you fire it up at that point. And we still don't know. What's all this laughing for? What's all this? There it is. Yeah. We do know that the maintenance workers are burning off mold. They did say that. From what, though? From what? Speaking of mold, that leads us straight into our newest installment in the MCU. We talked about it early on. 2025 is the year of Bob Iger dumping everything. You know, people are starting to forget that this is the year that they made all the announcements. They've kind of addressed like, yo, we kind of got off the rails with a lot of the MCU stuff. We're kind of losing our audience. We want to try to find them again. But they had a lot of stuff already in the tank. So this year is the biggest content dump from the MCU since its inception. There's 9 projects, multiple silver screen, multiple live action, multiple animated. We've already had the new Spider-Man cartoon, the Wakanda cartoon. We had like, what are all the shows? Daredevil, Born Again.
Which got it to season 3, and we're getting Wonder Man.
What are the other shows that already came out, though?
Was Echo this year?
What?
Was Echo this year, or was that last year?
No, that was last year. We had the Captain America movie. We had the Thunderbolts movie. We had the Fantastic Four movie. And then Wonder Man is coming. And we just got Marvel Zombies. So there's one more. There's one more on there. People just want to bash Disney right now. If this was Warner Brothers, Sony Universe, Paradise, y'all wouldn't. Bro, I just bashed 20th Century. I bashed something that I absolutely love. Kevin, you got it. You've got to. There's no way. You come here enough to know that there's no way. No company, no property is safe based on the name of its studio. Like I call them balls and strikes, buddy. Call them balls and strikes. if it's good, I'll say it. I praised Fantastic Four. I said Thunderbolts was good. Both of those I called them good. They were. Daredevil was a shit show. That's undeniable. I skipped the Spider-Man cartoon. I skipped the Wakanda cartoon. I don't normally watch the cartoons. Now, because I had a buddy specifically tell me that Ironheart. Yeah. That was terrible. That was one where the show was accidentally better than the writers realize it. But because the writers are telling you it's this, when really it's this, they have no clue that they accidentally did better than they intended, which is very, very unique. Very unique. But we got Marvel Zombies. It's a 4-episode special, maybe? Special? Something? It's a show. They're like 30-something minute episodes a piece. Now, Marvel Zombies is something that I picked up as it came out back in the day. It was pretty cool. It's just meant to be fun. It's not, it's just standalone, self-contained, fun. You can expect to see your favorite heroes and villains in unique ways, whether alive or dead, brought to you in unique ways in this post-apocalyptic world of zombies. And you're there for the death scenes. It's kind of like what I mentioned about other stuff. Like there's stuff that the story doesn't have to be amazing. You're there for the creative death scenes. That's a lot of what Marvel Zombies is. So in that case, you got to put that into context, because I put up my review for this. I watched it all. And the best way to describe it is a spectacular who's who of who gives a shit. So it's Marvel Zombies, but it's all like the recent MCU stuff. So it's kind of filled with and following a bunch of characters you don't really care about. So there's really it kind of takes any kind of stakes out of it. Now there's some cool concepts, some cool ideas. You get Hulk in there, like hooked up to all the Infinity Stones that have cracked open, which is really cool. For whatever reason, they felt it necessary to make Kamala Khan the main character. Now watch this. If you watch the show, this is how much you probably didn't think about and how terrible the writing ended up being. The whole thing is her slowly trying to get this device to space so that it can signal the Nova Corps. In the process of doing this, she's having these flashes and dreams of like the zombie queen, because everything in this show is very feminist forward. Like it's very apparent. Doesn't really take away from the story experience unless you're really just aware of how Disney does all this. But Wanda is your zombie queen who's after Kamala because she's the key. The key to what? Key to we don't know. At the end of it, Wanda's standing there. The Hulk has like all the Infinity Stones. He's standing there just absorbing them so it doesn't destroy the world. And he like stands there like however long it would take. And Wanda's goal is to get to him and touch him so that she can get like the boost of power and just take over the world even more kind of thing. But she's talking to Kamala and running into her like, help me. And she's like, no, I'll never help you, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, like they're both standing there next to Hulk, and Wanda's touching the Hulk and he's like, Kamala, we can fix the world if you just take my hand. You're the key. And she eventually grabs her hand, but they never explain why Kamala's the key. There's no special power to her. There's no innate ability. There's no like Wanda's this like Omega level witch, you know what I mean? Like you get where her reality altering powers, why was Kamala Khan a key for Wanda? Like what about her? What did she do? It doesn't show you anything that it heightened on Wanda. Nothing. It showed nothing. There was nothing to it. They just inserted her there without any actual purpose. It was very, very weird. I don't understand it, but it was all your the show is about all your D-string characters. But they did introduce Blade, and I pointed this out to Paul. It was the most disrespectful way possible. Mashallah Ali, who's a phenomenal actor, has been strung along for years now by Disney with these crappy scripts that he's walked off from, the crappy directing job that he's walked off from. They keep bringing him back, promising him this. They've drugged this man for years, ruining who knows how many possible projects, just to first show Mashallah Ali as Blade in an animated form without him voicing Blade. And then you don't even let him be Blade. He's Moon Knight. Blade with the power of Khonshu. He's Moon Knight suit cape, but give him a sword and call him Blade. It was crazy. Cool character, but when you watch it, you know any of the surrounding history, you're just like, oh my God, did they just? That's crazy, right? That's kind of disrespectful as hell, right? Like it was wild. Wild. Yeah, Ironheart was the other one. I'll bash Disney. They have been losing the plot since Endgame, 1000%. Yeah, nobody's favorite heroes in the show, but that was the concept of Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies, not the show, the book. Like I said, the show was a spectacular who's who of who gives a shit. Congrats again on that Batman 1. Yeah. You want to tell that story?
Sure. So I ordered 6 Blind as a Bat bags from Golden Apple Comics, and I opened them on Saturday morning, and I got one of the gold Jorge Jimenez 1 in 1,000 foils. And within 24 hours, I had sold it on eBay for a pretty good
Over
amount of money.
4 figures.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty happy overall. And you know what? It would have been great to keep it, but you know what? It's one of those things where the ridiculous amount of money that you could make on it is like, it's not worth it to keep it. You got to take advantage of that.
You really do. You really do. That's nuts. Yeah. What's nuts is the fact that he sold it and didn't give it away on Guess That Key.
Yes.
You know, I've had that similar feeling about a book that you and I both have, Paul.
Mhm.
It's a shiny gold foil Superman book that you and I both have. And I regularly check the price. And I'm like, can't believe I've still kept this book and not sold it. Because it sells for like right at 4 figures too. And we damn sure did not pay that for it. But I'm like, no, I don't want to sell it. I really like that. You know what I'm talking about? The Death of Superman gold foil. Yeah.
Yep.
But that's another one of those ones, but that's a little bit of a different situation. We specifically set out to race the crowd to acquire that book and have it
Correct.
for way, way, way cheaper. I think it was like that book was $100 already slabbed. It was $99.99, and now it's worth like $800 to $1,000.
Right.
That's why I don't want to get rid of it. It's never come down either. It's never come down.
To answer, I have comic issues. I did one of the combined things where you could bid on it if you wanted to, or you could do the buy it now, and somebody did the buy it now.
Not bad. How long was it posted before it was got?
Less than 24 hours.
That's wild. I noticed there was one on there when I seen yours, and I left that comment. I went and looked at what it was going for on eBay. There was one that's listed for $670.
Yeah.
I wonder if that one has damage or something on it.
Could be. There was one that was it was people were bidding on it. The bid was up to $1,300 today.
Oh, there you go.
One.
Yeah, good stuff. Whew. Well, we've kind of hung out and talked for a while. I don't know if I want to try to dive into the history of DC Universe tonight because that takes a minute.
Yeah, we could do that next week.
Yeah, you cool with that? Because it's already almost 10 o'clock.
It's Tulsa time.
That's a good question. It's a really good question, I think.
I already have something I'm looking at.
Say again?
I already have something I'm looking at with the proceeds. I won't tell you.
Okay, there it is.
Because it'll show up on Guess That Key.
He doesn't ever say nothing he's buying. He won't ever tell me. We'll go shopping together once a year, and 2 years later, be like, "Yeah, I bought this back when we were at the store." I'm like, "What? Come on, man!"
Right.
But yeah,
remember at lunch when I wasn't listening to you?
Hey, it was a fantastic week for comics, though. But next week we're going to do the page by page. We'll go through and we'll look at the new history of the DC Universe, issue number 3. So if you haven't been keeping up with that, it's not retelling; it's redefining what the canon history of DC Comics is. It's been around for almost 90 years now, and with that comes major events, world-changing happenstance, cosmic shifts, relaunches, worlds collide, worlds are born, and over the years, like the writers have to figure out what's canon to us now. You've retold the origin of this character, and so that's what they're doing with the new history of the DC Universe. They're just telling readers the history of the DC Universe from the inception of the universe to the multiverse to current day. And we hit the era through the 80s and 90s and kind of right up into the early 2000s with the most recent issue. And we like to go through it page by page and just let the viewers see the history of the DC Universe. And we try to point out what might be a little different or what specific canons we're going with where there's an option. And we'll do that next week. So be sure to tune in and hang out. And
Legion look next week as well. So don't miss it.
Yeah, the Legion loot giveaways next week. Dude, it's a, I think I got it. It's a massive Legion loot, And there's a slab going in there too, and some other stuff. But I will point this out because Batman Day happened this month. So the free Batman Day book plus the Virgin foil for Absolute Batman #1. What is this? The Batman brand new Batman 1 blind bag Delato is going in there. I know I have another Batman Day thing in here somewhere. Yeah, the Batman Day, the other freebie, plus the foil Virgin, the ratio variant for the brand new Blue Falcon #1, the Eric Kickstarter Ash Cam. So check that out at Kickstarter. Eric, the brand new Punisher #1 foil in the polybag still. Detective Comics 751, the first appearance of Sasha Bordeaux, who's in the Peacemaker, the cyborg chick. Checkmate 1 through 5, all
Nice.
Bermejo covers featuring Sasha Bordeaux, so you can see what's up with her as a character. Their cybernetic eye. She's a little bit more sexy in the TV show. And then we've got some big time collectibles exclusives. Try to throw in some Spider-Man related stuff since it's a lot of Marvel stuff outside. I mean, DC stuff outside of it. So the BTC stuff, all Spider-Man related foils. And then the brand new issue #1 of the Phantom that came out this week. So there's a lot of stuff. And then there's a slab that'll be going in there. And hopefully it'll be here in time. I've got multiple DC Finest collected volumes on the way. So I'm not sure which one I want to put in there this month. It's going to depend on this, which one's coming in the slab. But yeah, if you're a channel member, check out the video. Well, it'll be up tomorrow also. But I opened just boxes and boxes of key comics that are all being given away in Legion Loot. So hit that join button, become a channel member. Make sure you're in the Legion tier. If you're in the Legion tier, your name goes on the wheel, and we spin it once a month.
Signed slabs, right? You got all sorts of good stuff there, right?
Yeah, all sorts of stuff like old Charlton keys. Slabs, yeah. But yeah, watch the video to see the rest of it, and you'll find out. I'll post up a YouTube short and stuff of what all is going in it. Probably Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Poison Ivy. Yeah, I guess there was some Poison Ivy on that Batman cover, the Sasha Bordeaux.
I think Madam was answering Loader's. Yeah, that one.
What's going on, Loaders? Question for both of you. If DC could make a movie for any hero, who would you want them to pick? Mine would be Green Arrow.
I would pick between two. Funny you start off the statement with question, because the Vic Sage question would be one of them for me. I would love a Vic Sage question. But then the other one would be Alan Scott.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to steal Paul's answers because I'm thirsty for Charlton stuff. We're on here every week talking about more Charlton characters, and I think it'd be cool to get a Captain Atom or question. And if with the state of the DCU right now, you can do a high-end question movie for a very, very affordable budget. And if there's one thing that the Watchmen taught us, it's that the question is a viable character that people would like. Like Vic Sage question doesn't have to be far from Rorschach. Walter Kovacs is a little bit different, but when it comes to mask on, suit on in the streets, like you can play that very similar in tone and style, and it would land. It would land in a major way. But my #1, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, would be an R-rated Spectre movie.
Thought you were going to say the Spectre.
Yeah,
I thought about Spectre. I thought about Dr. Fate.
Spectre. 10 out of 10 times, because like out of all the cool characters, he's the only one that we haven't necessarily gotten in live action. We had that weird thing that they did in the Arrowverse where they tethered Ollie to him kind of like in a Hal Jordan fashion, which was super cool. Don't get me wrong, it was super cool, but it was the most watered down version anything. Like I was surprised that we didn't get Spectre in like a little pop-up finale kind of thing in Stargirl, because they did Eclipso, and they did Eclipso so good.
Yeah,
so good. But yeah, Spectre would be. Pops is on this multi-alien thing. He's been on this for like 2 weeks now. I hope it happens for you, Pops. I watched the latest episode of Peacemaker. It was fun. It was really fun. Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. What is up, C-Pain? But yeah, who would y'all pick? Leave a comment in the video. Let us know. But yeah, it's after 10, so we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna burn through comics next week. There's man, I kind of want to burn through them tonight because there's gonna be way too much for next week.
Well, we only got Peacemaker from a TV standpoint next week.
Very true.
Because
Yeah,
aliens. So
yeah, I will encourage everyone to go pick up the Phantom #1. We'll be talking about more next week.
I
God,
read
we
that.
got
It
a
was
lot.
good.
Got a lot to burn through. Good God. It's a big week again coming too, though. That's the scary part. I don't want to have to keep all these books out. All right, we're going to talk about a few of these real quick. Yeah, we're going to have to real fast. So Wonder Woman number 25 came out. This is kind of a big deal. This is the start of a major new storyline. And if you see on the cover here, you kind of get the story of a character. And that character is the matriarch, the brand new villain. This is the one that was really pumped up and hyped up by Tom King. This ties all the way back to issue #1, all the way back to that event that happened where that Amazon got into that fight at that bar. People lost their lives, and it set off the whole chain of events that this whole run is about. And this just added a huge level of complexity. This isn't that Amazon. This is the daughter of that Amazon grown up right here. So it's going to get wild. If you look, she's wearing a Legion flight ring, a Green Lantern ring.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way that this is structured is cool. You have Wonder Woman at the Mouse Island, kind of, I don't know, trespassing where she doesn't belong. And she's moving her way through here. And while she's going through here for these few issues, we started getting these flash forward events of Matriarch kind of executing Justice League members, Batman, Martian Manhunter, Superman, just going through the list of them. And we find out when Wonder Woman gets to her target, she was going there to save Edna Candy. She finds Alyssa, wasn't that her name? Alyssa? Amelia. Emil? I think Amelia was the Amazon that was on the run from the beginning. We find her with her infant baby who was born on the Mouse Land, who grows up to be Matriarch. So they're doing a lot of like future projecting, and they've been doing it since the beginning with like Trinity and getting to see into the future with her growing up, hanging out with the Super Sons. So there's kind of like this really cool long-term dual storytelling stuff happening in here. But this character is, I think, meant to be like a major player in the DC universe coming forward. But this, if you see this book out in the wild for cover price, you might want to pick it up, because this one I think is going for roughly $20 already, and it's only a $5 book.
Right.
But yeah, she's featured on the A cover, so this is her first cover appearance technically, but this is the one that's drawing the shebang. Mark Spear's Monsters #7 came out, and to everyone's surprise, the story is amazing now. Not true. It's the exact same convoluted weirdness that it's always been. Who knows what's happening in this book? Nobody. I don't think Mark Spears knows what's happening.
Is he taking a break after that issue to do the wolf and the? Because he's doing the wolf and the something.
Yeah, I think he already wrote that a while back, because all these things happen on Kickstarter first. The monster and the wolf is like a 3-issue prequel story. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I thought
I don't know.
Spot wasn't publishing them both at the same time. I thought.
Bro, I don't know, man. I just like
the nice pictures.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what's going on with this book. I thought I had a second copy of it somewhere. I get 2 copies of each one. I always have, because for the first few issues I couldn't pick which monster I wanted. But yeah, I got the Hessian, the Headless Horseman, which is super dope. It's the A cover. And then I got this one.
That's a JSA homage.
Yeah, it's Power Girl.
Yeah.
I'm not normally too big on homages, but
he's been doing an homage every issue.
Yeah, but I think it was her tits. I'm like, I'll get this one. And I'm not saying that like that sounds the way it is, but I'm not saying that jokingly. If you go back and look at all the alternate covers I got, all of them are those sexy lady covers, because ultimately, with my mind's eyes, like, I'm never going to keep 2 copies of all these books. I'll end up keeping the A covers. And the first one I bought 2 because I just wanted the 2 covers. The second one I bought 2 because I wanted 2 covers. Then I was like done at that point. I would have normally just gave them away, but I'm like, well, I'll just buy multiple copies of the whole run, and I'll just have a whole secondary set to sell. And the sexy cover sells, so I just kind of stayed with that. All right, Paul, you ready? You ready to talk about what's to talk about real quick? Because we're going to spend just a little bit of time on these 2 books, and then after that, the rest of them we can just speed review. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do, yeah.
And we're holding them in the same hand even. This is how comics are meant to be written. This is how continuity is meant to work. This is amazing. You had Superman issue 30, which is part 3 of the Legion of Darkseid storyline, as well as Justice League Unlimited, which is our first title with DCKO on the header, prelude to DCKO. These books have been going hand in hand each month when they come out. We have Superman. With Time Trapper went to Superman, took him to a different world, and teamed him up with Superboy Prime, who's long since been who knows where dead. They go through the time stream to go try to save Booster Gold and stop the Legion of Darkseid, which is just an Omega infected legion of superheroes. To come to find out, they're from different times and space, and they've gone through times and space and wiped out all the different legions over the different time area. And they're ultimately trying to wipe them all out and then take over the Earth, and all for Darkseid. They're poisoned by the Omega energy in the universe. That's just this negative energy that radiates from Darkseid that is Darkseid, and they are savage. And we get to this world, and we get to let out Booster Gold, and Superboy Prime turns on Superman, ultimately saying, haha, tricked you. I am a villain. Superboy Prime is like the most villainous villain of all villains in the DC universe. But they've kind of introduced him really interesting in this way. He's still that crazy nut job, but they're giving him this this ambush bug style fourth wall talking, and he's doing a lot of little things like punching the fabrics of reality, which ties back to his reappearance in Infinite Crisis in 2006.
When he says he's going to kill Booster Gold, he says Dan Jurgen's going to be pissed.
Dan Jurgen's going to be pissed. It was amazing. It was amazing. But in this one, it starts with Superman on the ground with the Legion of Darkseid having just whooped him, and Superboy Prime laughing about it, and Saturn Girl looking into his mind, talking about like they're like seeing like, oh, Superboy Prime's on our side now. We got our own Superman now, and they're getting ready to kill Booster Gold. And about that time, Superboy Prime's like, I'll do it. And Superman's trying to stop him, and he can't. He's being held. They're like, it's done. Booster's done. And Superboy Prime just kind of smiles and turns around and lights up the Legion of Darkseid. I mean, lights them up. And Superman busts out, and they just start going and fighting. And he reveals to Superman, it's like, and we called it. I told you it was going to be a double cross, but he said, the reason I had to do that is because I am crazy. I would happily kill all these people if I wanted to. Right. I can easily hide that part of my mind. Superman, you'd never been able to do that. They would have seen right through you.
At one point, he threatens to pull up people's arms, and he's like, it's kind of my thing.
It's kind of my thing, yeah. Oh, man. And to Legionnaires, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, God. But, yeah, so he literally fights back the entire Legion, allowing Superman and Booster Gold to get out of there. And he does it with a smile on his face because ultimately, and this goes back all the way to DC Comics Presents, ultimately, all this kid wants to do is be Superman one day. And it was this tragic moment when he was like proud of himself of getting to be like the hero to fight beside Superman finally for once. I'm like, you better not die, you son of a bitch.
No, he can't, because he still owes him a team up.
Owes him a team up. Man, what a phenomenal issue though. This was so good. And then the final couple of pages, we pop back over to the Watchtower, and we get a couple of shots of Time Trapper talking with the Justice League about the events that are coming, and we got to do something, blah, blah, blah. So we go over to what did you think of the Superman issue? Anything else you wanted to add to it?
No, it was great. I mean, it was great. And to your point, I mean, continuity. I mean, the final panel of both of these issues are basically exactly the same, because that's where the Omega Act is gonna pick up next week. Yeah.
So the final page was Superman making it back home with Booster. But what's cool, and then Justice League Unlimited is a little more straightforward. We have the team in, where are they at? Moravia? No, that's the stupid movie.
Yeah.
Where the hell is Geoforce from?
Monrovia.
Markovia.
Markovia, sorry.
Yeah. I've been watching the Superman movie a lot, so I got Moravia on my mind. But in Markovia, there were like apocalyptic fire pits are popping up on Earth, and they were dealing with one of these things. And as they were getting to the bottom of it, it's causing them to act angrily toward each other. But the Legion of Darkseid was down there. They had to fight him off a little bit. And then they tried to go farther into the pit, and they couldn't. It was like almost limitless, and it was this negative Omega energy. They had to get out of there. But on the Watchtower, they managed to save Time Trapper's life, fight off some parademons and stuff. But ultimately, at the end, you get the same panels just drawn by a different artist, but the same panel layout, same words, which was perfect continuity, blending them in. I'm like, yes. And Superman shows up with Booster Gold. All the stage is set for the DCKO. I didn't read the teaser pages for the prelude. What's it called?
The Omega Act Special.
Omega Act Special comes out next week. I intentionally didn't read the preview pages for it that I saw in there. I'm like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to just read it all raw. But dude, this was flawless execution. The build up, like this felt like an event. This felt like an actual like issue 6 of 7 of a summer event is what this felt like. Like the big penultimate issue. Like it was so good. It was just so good. And Dan Mora's art is just like looking at Superboy Prime with the anti-monitor armor on, a smile on his face, crisp line work. Just, I don't know. I really like what they've done with Superboy Prime with the little fourth wall tapping. Like it works for him. And like, I never thought about that. This dude made his return busting through walls, and now he's doing it as like a basic power set. And when he uppercut Superman through it and everything, I'm like, this is just so cool. So cool. And that little bit of information about him being able to punch through the walls of reality, changing events and stuff, that'll come into play next week when we go through the history of the DC universe, because we'll probably a little callback to that and stuff. But I definitely
want to call back to that for some reason.
Huh?
Or lack of a callback to that, depending on who you're
lack
talking
of
about.
a callback to it, yeah. I wonder how much of an actual lack of a callback it is versus that we don't have enough time to actually explain all this to y'all. I don't know. But yeah, we got a new Detective Comics out. It was kind of the start of a new story arc. Batman goes to respond to trouble on the open water. There's a big ship, dead people on it, gas leak on it. It looks like biological weapon. He gets off there and he goes to see Mr. Terrific. Wasn't it Mr. Terrific? He goes to see Mr. Terrific, analyze the gas, and finds out that he's also poisoned. He's living on borrowed time. He has him quarantined. Those are good issues.
Lined up now too because he's wearing his new costume as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he just looks better in blue and gray. He just does. Is that even an opinion? No, it's a fact. Superman Unlimited. This was a good issue. I didn't care for the last two. They were kind of pointless. This one's the opposite of pointless. We go to the Kryptonite Kingdom. We learn about it. Learn about when the meteor fell in issue 1 and get some storyline to that with Superman crashing, them having to get him out. A little bit of the shystiness that's going around with the people trying to get their hands on kryptonite and use it as like a natural resource now. But this was a decent issue. I still don't know how long for this title I am, because it doesn't serve the greater continuity. And I don't know. If they give us 2 more back-to-back wasted issues like they did with issue 4 and 3, I'm going to drop this title, which is, I say that, but
yeah,
I'm not going to drop this title. I don't want any more wasted issues, but I really enjoyed this issue. And I love, who's doing the work? Is it Albuquerque?
Raphael Albuquerque, yeah.
Yeah, that's our
yeah, they basically they found another crystal that'll create another Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, they got to get to it. So was it solar crystal? They want to get to it so that no one can get that technology. But Raphael Albuquerque is who does Huck with Mark Miller, and he's just a great artist. He does emotion well.
Vampire with Scott Snyder too.
Yeah, he's just really good. Mm-hmm. It's ultimately going to be Darkseid versus Superman, in my opinion. No. What's both your favorite titles right now? Ooh, that's tough, man. That's not a fair question.
I'm going to go with Green Lantern.
Well, tell us about it, because we had a brand new issue out this week.
See, now you're burning through all the issues that you said you weren't going to burn through.
Well, we're burning through. That means we have less next week, because there's a ton of new ones next week. I'll show everyone that beautiful cover. The penultimate issue to the Starbreaker Supremacy storyline.
Yes. Basically, can John Stewart restart the entire emotional spectrum?
The builder.
It seems like he can. It seems like he can. That's the quick down and dirty of what happened the entire issue, basically.
Yeah, it's a race to get to Oa. You have the Starbreaker army coming there. You have our Lanterns going there and trying to figure out what to do about it. They were tethered to the actual emotional spectrum entities and could barely fight them off long enough, and now they're not tethered anymore. What are we going to do? You got Kelly finding out that her stupid glove for her stupid character is actually part of Chrono's ultimate goal, and it has been the whole time, and it's off of Kelly and it's on Simon. It's walked Simon to an undisclosed location where it's put it into an undisclosed monolith, and it looks like Chronos is coming into the next story arc. Maybe it's going to get huge, but in the meantime, John Stewart is finding his deeper purpose, and he's gone into the battery to fire them up, so they all got their powers back.
Yeah, and we see all our favorites. We see Larfreeze. We see Saint Hope, I think, whatever name was, something
Saint Walker.
Saint Walker, yeah. Atrocitus. We see all of them. So we see
all. Yeah, so they go to the science cells, and John's like, "Hey, listen, Starbreakers are coming. We're all going to die unless y'all want to get out and fight.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to fight some people? If you want to fight, you can get out and fight and try to live. If not, you can all stay here and die. What are we going to do?
No.
Like, yeah, we'll fight.
Right. And then he manages to restart all the emotional spectrums again, all the lanterns, and we get each of the oaths for all 6 of them again.
That was such a great page, wasn't it?
Mhm.
It's mine. What's mine is mine, and mine and what's mine. What's cool about it is they've been sitting there in the previous issues. They've reconstructed central power batteries all around each other on Oa with the green one in the center. So they were getting ready to fire them up when the Starbreakers threw a wrench in that whole plan. So they're all right there. It isn't like John had to go to each individual battery. They're all together. So it was really cool. Really, really cool.
Yeah. And the best covers are actually the A covers, the V. Ken Marion covers.
Yeah, they're painted covers and they connect.
Yeah.
Because this one's going to connect. They look like they did it backwards though, right? Because it looks like the next one will connect on the left side, but it'll. Because aren't they like, wasn't it supposed to connect on the right side the next issue, but it's going to connect on the left?
That's exactly what happened with the last one that he did. It was we got the opposite sides. You would think that they would do it all the way across, you know.
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, but they're gorgeous, gorgeous covers.
Yeah,
yeah, super cool, super cool. And then we got Mr. Terrific issue number 5 was out. I think it's the penultimate issue.
Yeah,
you have Jefferson and Michael teaming up. Awesome issue. They're friends beforehand, and they're taking the fight to the corporation, and just kind of like gung ho going in there to go try to shut it down, fight their way in, deal with some of previous villains. And we know that the lady that owns the company that Terrific Tech that he ultimately needs to get back is touched by Apocalypse. So we'll see what happens with that. Absolute Wonder Woman is out this weekend. Paul and I recorded the entire deep dive for this. That'll be out at 10 a.m. on Sector 2815's channel. Link is in the description to any and all my videos. Make sure you subscribe over there. We have a video that posts every Monday for the DC Deep Dive where we follow through all the Absolute Universe as it comes out, as well as every other Wednesday live at 9 o'clock for Guess That Key, where you can win tons of books, guess some prizes, and listen to us trash talk each other and laugh about it. It's really fun. Last book for the night. Ray Fawkes, The Phantom. Number 1 is out this week. Freddie Williams II has got an A cover. Oh, yes!
Dan Sheridan.
Yes, me too, bro. The PC copy. Beautiful cover. The Ghost Who Walks is back. It was fantastic. Very classic style issue. You're just getting introduced to the Phantom and a story of protecting a little native tribe, drug runner plane crashes, dealing with trying to deal with the survivors of that. Meanwhile, trying to figure out what to do when the people who own the drugs come for it, and none other than the Singh Brotherhood in a familiar yet kind of different way. Now they're like kind of a little more high tech, but Ray Fawkes has a great letter of concept at the back of it who explains what he's going for with this. So the first story arc, you're going to be seeing a lot of familiar concept and ideas of Kit Walker, the Phantom in the jungle, dealing with the Singh Brotherhood, but he plans to take this to new territory after this first volume. So if you're a fan of the Phantom, if you like to slam evil, if Billy Zane is your guy, pick up this book, hop along for the ride with Devil and Hero, Diana. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun. Support this book because I want more issues of it, and I need your help to make sure that we get them. The only way we get more is if we buy them, not read them for free online, but buy them. Go check it out. There's a copy. I got one of the variants that will be included in the Legion loot this month. So if you win that copy, you can then go buy issue 2 through however long it goes. But it was cool. It was really cool. It's right on brand. Russell Olson's artwork is kind of like old-timey while being modern at the same timey. It was pretty dope. I'm digging it a lot. It was a long time to wait from May 1st or the first Saturday in May when we got the free comic book day edition to this. But it's finally here. Yeah, the OG costumed hero. He is. Predates Superman, 1936. And if look up in my videos, just search Legion of Comics, who was the first superhero. I do a whole video breaking down trying to get to the bottom of that mystery of who the first comic book superhero was. Spoiler, it's not Superman. It's not Superman. But it is at the same time.
He was the first comic book superhero. That was like a comic book type superhero.
Was he?
Printed in a comic book.
Was he?
I'm going to go with yes. Although we've come to realize that my facts are sometimes lacking.
You want to watch my video. So there was actually about 5 heroes comic book heroes that predated him, but they're all different, varying degrees of what a traditional American superhero is.
Right.
While you had a couple people like Hercules, Hercules back in like the late 1800s in a comic magazine who could do feats of strength like lift up a carriage. You had people like the Clock, who was your first masked vigilante, who wore like the detective coat, the fedora, but covered his face. Then you have the Phantom, who's your first costumed superhero, but he has no powers. Superman is your first costumed superhero, where they took all these separate elements where people were starting to cook some ideas, and you create the first great American mythology superhero in comic book form.
How about
Yeah,
the Spirit? How about the Spirit?
Will Eisner's the Spirit. I
Yeah.
don't think the Spirit predated Superman, but he was also a comic strip character first too, which the Phantom predated him.
Right.
So yeah, I did my homework for that video. When I say I did my homework, I called Pops. I'm just kidding. I legit did my homework for that video. I even talk about Beowulf in the video. Like if you're getting down to it, like because all of these things historically all lead to the Superman. Without any one of these, you don't necessarily get to Superman when you do. But these are all the things, because you got to think when Jerry and Joe were coming up, they had read stuff. They were influenced by things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spirit was 1940. Yeah, didn't think you predated him. Yeah. Will Eisner's The Spirit. Let's Die. That was a cool movie. That was the year you found out that Frank Miller was not meant to direct. But I still enjoy that movie an awful lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, The Octopus. Yeah, good stuff. Push it right to 10:30, but we got to go. Next week, we're diving into the new history of the DC Universe. We'll be talking about Peacemaker Episode 7, the penultimate episode, and we'll see what else happens. But until then, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Still have no scrolly bar on the media assets. That's a bummer. So we're just going to kill it. Y'all have a good night. Until next time, we are Legion.